Welcome to I Can See That! Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of I Can See That. Guess what? Today, at my house, Friday, June 17th, I held the trials of C! And guess who's here? What's your name again, kid?
Sam.
His name is Sam, and he played 5 games, 1v1, against C. But anyways, let's recap last week real quick. Hello everyone, and welcome to I Can See That. And as I said previously, I am your host C. So, I would like to talk about last week where I mentioned Logic, and he dropped a new album last Friday, June 17th, called Final Days. I think the album is really awesome. I have a few favorite songs off the album. I'm just going to go ahead and list them. I do like Final Days, the actual song. It's real smooth and cool melody. It's just awesome. Of course, I said I like Tetris. I also like Rogue One. I love his flow in that one. His rapping is awesome. Therapy music is real freaking low as well. Real awesome. I love the smoothness of the beat. I like how it starts off and then just changes, and it's just awesome. And Decades, of course, that was a TikTok challenge song. I actually submitted a TikTok for that, so you can check that out somewhere on my page down there. And it's called, this last song I really like, it's called Bleed It. And it gives me like that Helter Skelter Beatle vibe, so I really like that album. If you haven't heard it, Final Days, check it out. Logic will be here with Wiz Khalifa on July 30th, it looks like. So I'm pretty excited. Hopefully I get to go to that. It's on Saturday, which is nice. One thing I want to mention about this album is he had a lot of features. He had Wiz Khalifa, of course, Royce da 5'9", and The Game. He had a lot of other features, but I want to talk about The Game real quick. So Eminem came out with a song with CeeLo Green. It's called The King and I, and it's for a movie soundtrack. And The Game called out Eminem saying, this guy's, better than me somehow. So I guess also The Game said he's having a diss track come out with, talking about Eminem and all that. So that's kind of interesting. I'm Team Eminem, but, I've always liked The Game. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. But Eminem just released The Eminem Show Remastered. And it had a bunch of bonus tracks and freestyles and live performances. And I really like the song Stimulate off of that. It was a bonus track. So if you haven't heard that yet, please check it out. So I want to talk about a few other things real quick before we get into our awesome segment with Sam, with the Trials of C. I heard this morning that Motorhead's Lemmy, they made a statue for him. They built it at Hellfest, and it contains his ashes, and I think that's really cool. I seen Motorhead a long time ago. It was in 2011. They were there with Slayer and Slipknot, a whole bunch of bands. I think I mentioned that last podcast, and it was pretty great. They sounded right on point, right on record. Mentioning, Slipknot, they will be here in Phoenix, Arizona on October 2nd, so I'm pretty psyched about that. Other news, I heard that Korn is meeting with Fieldy today, their bassist. If you don't know, he was out of the band almost a year now, maybe a little longer. So last time I seen Korn, Fieldy was not there. They had, can't remember his name, Suicide Tendencies bassist fill-in, but he was very awesome. But yeah, so let's see if Fieldy rejoins the band. I'm pretty excited for that. In video game news, Pokemon Snap, the original 64 game, it drops on Nintendo Switch. So if you have the classic little emulator thing, June 24th. So it's coming real quick. So make sure you pick that up. I did like the new one. I beat it. It came out with a little bit of DLC, but it pretty much has been dead for a long time right now. So I hope they come out with more DLC since they're dropping this. But hey, who can complain? I'm ready to play some original Pokemon Snap. Also, in other video game news, Sonic Frontiers gameplay was released. So we got to kind of see what it looks like. It's very green, lots of hills and stuff like that so far. Lots of little Sonic tracks and bumps and spins and, all that normal Sonic stuff. But I'm not too sure if I'm impressed yet, so we'll have to see how it goes. So I guess Sonic falls through a wormhole away from Amy and Tails, and he's going to collect some, his little gemstone things and his rings and try to get back to normal. So we'll see if that game turns out to be pretty good, but we already know it won't be Elden Ring good. But I know you guys are ready for this awesome segment after, I released the video this last Sunday, June 19th, with The Trials of C. So, let's go ahead and let's switch over to Sam with The Trials of C. Thank you. Hello everybody. So earlier I mentioned that we went through The Trial of C, and I put this guy over here, kid, whatever, I don't even know. He's wearing a Slipknot shirt, so he might be cool. But his name is Sam! So, Sam, say hello to the people.
Hello, world.
Wow, Sam has so much to say, but we'll get a lot out of him. So, Sam, today we were talking about hanging out yesterday, it didn't happen, and then we were talking about hanging out today, it almost didn't happen, and then we said, fuck it, made it happen, and here we are. Sorry about that, folks. I'm a pirate. Sometimes I drop the F-bomb. But anyway, Sam, so what was your first thoughts that went through your mind when I said, hey, Sam, you're going through The Trial of C, and our first game that we are going to play is The Floor is Lava. How did that make you feel?
Well, to be honest, I never played that game, and so I was really confused. But then you told me the instructions.
Directions, instructions. Sam needs them. Sam, when did you receive the instructions to The Floor is Lava?
In the middle of the game.
So, how many turns were there in the game of The Floor is Lava?
I don't even think I got a turn.
Everybody gets a turn at the same time. I explained the rules in the video, everybody. But anyways, what color did it land on?
Fuck, that's a good question. I think it landed on green.
It landed on red, Sam.
Oh, and that's why I lost.
And there were 2 other red spots available. My 4-year-old child moved to the adjacent red spot, and I hopped on over to the other red spot. And what did you do?
I stood in place.
You stood in place. Why?
Because I had forgot the instructions.
I went up 1-0 because of this. Horse. You spelt horse earlier, didn't you, Sam? C really put a mark on you, didn't I?
Unfortunately, yeah.
What was your favorite shot that you made?
Probably the one where I sat down.
When you sat down, did it feel good?
I mean, I do have a bony ass, so yeah, it kind of felt good.
That's alright. So, what was your favorite shot that I made?
Probably the one where you were not even facing the backboard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, after we did this basketball game, which lasted about 13 minutes and 40 seconds, which I trimmed up in the video, which you can see on my TikTok at Carrol Ingle. Carrolingle. And you can go check it out and see what's up. But anyways, so we were pretty tired after that game of horse, weren't we, Sam?
Absolutely. We had to wash ourselves down with some water. I totally fucked that up. I meant to say we were thirsty, so we washed our throats down with water.
You know, Sam had such a good idea. He said, hey, Carol, since you're so good at all these games, let's play a game I'm good at. I'm good at drinking water, Carol. I live in Arizona, which I do too. So anyways, Sam we went and got some cold water, and we unscrewed the caps, and you can see this in the video as well. This was trial number 3 of the Trial of C. And Sam actually won this. Sam, what did it feel like when you realized you won the 3rd challenge?
Well, the chug challenge was pretty simple. You just need to relax your throat. Not many people.
So Sam really showed his throat abilities in that last challenge. So our next challenge, which was the 4th challenge, was we played video games. And the video game that we played was Super Mario Kart 64! And guess who won?
C.
That is a lie. If you watch the video, you will see he's lying. Sam won. Let's move on to the next thing, because we don't got no questions for that. So, it was tied 2-2. How are we going to determine who wins? Sam walked up and said to my 4-year-old son, what'd you say to him, Sam?
I said we're going to play a fair game.
And what's that fair game you're going to play?
Paper, rock, scissors.
And I said, that seems fair. I will use something that is of mine, my child, to compete for me, to win the Trial of C. And Sam, what did you throw when you went paper, rock, scissors, throw with my 4-year-old?
Paper.
And what did my son throw against your paper?
Scissors.
And guess what?
He cut my paper.
And you lost the Trial of C. I am undefeated, folks. C is 1-0 in the Trial of C. Now, Sam, I want to thank you for coming on today. Sam and I have been long friends for a very long time, freshman year of high school, so I don't know how we are now, about 29 years old, so about 15 years we've been friends. Sam, how does that make you feel?
That's fucking insane. We've been friends that long.
You know, what else is insane?
What is that, Carol?
You lost the Trials of C. How does that make you feel?
I think it's important to know that this is not my first Trials of C, that I have participated in several over the 15-year friendship, and I've lost every single time.
And this, folks, is actually the first Trial of C documented. There is other videos and stuff, but they're pretty gone now. Anyways, the Trial of C has been completed. Sam, I want to thank you for coming on my show today. Thank your lady, thank your child, thank my child, thank everybody for putting you through the Trial of C. Any last words for my listeners?
Thank you for having me on the show, C, and I look forward to coming back.
All right. Well, I hope to see you soon. I see you have a Slipknot shirt on, and I'm always down to talk about the knot.
Definitely, let's do it in the next episode.
If you're available. All right, everybody. Bye-bye, Sam. Thanks for competing in the Trial of C.
Bye-bye, C.
All right, everyone. So, I did bring a second guest onto today's show. He's somebody that I used to work with quite a bit ago. We both have something very awesome in common. We love video games. We're both big nerds, and we love Pokemon. We love Nintendo, and let me go ahead and introduce Mr. Roberto. Say hey to everyone, Roberto.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
So, Roberto, I've been seeing a lot of content come out lately regarding Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Have you been reviewing any of that?
Oh, I've been reviewing every little bit of it. I'm honestly super excited for it. I can't wait.
So do you like where they're going with the Pokemon and how they're kind of making them like mechanical and kind of like a car or a jet? You know what I'm talking about?
With the new Yeah, I think it's actually pretty cool. It's something new. There's nothing that hasn't been done before, really. I mean, yeah, we've had dragons, but do we have any that are actually like vehicles or anything like that? No, this is something brand new.
I was about to say, I am excited for it being a little brand new too, but one thing that kind of throws me off is they're going back to that old formula, and there's nothing wrong with the old formula, but I really enjoyed Pokemon Arceus. How do you kind of feel about them kind of going back to how they did the last couple games where you just have your open world spot and then a little city, then an open world spot? I just hope it doesn't turn out like that. So what is your opinion on that?
Honestly, the way I see it is Arceus is its own separate game. That's why it's something different. It's more open world. While the other Pokemon games, the ones that are in the series, really are basically something completely different.
Right.
They stick to the same mechanics. They have the little open world areas and then the map areas. So sometimes you don't have to. What's the word for it? Not. Anyways, but yeah, I'm still very excited for it. Either way, it's still gonna feel like Pokemon to me.
Right. I mean, the old formula's great, but it just had me so excited. I went like 70, 80 hours running around and just randomly throwing balls at things. But okay, Roberto, well, thank you for that. Yeah, do you have a favorite starter yet or a favorite new Pokemon?
I'll be completely honest. I am tossed up between Sprigatito and Presley. But I think I'm probably going to go water type this time. I went grass type in Sword and Shield, and then started fire type in Sun and Moon. So might as well go to water this time.
I mean, that's one way to balance it, right? So that way you kind of get, a little flex through each different, run through of every series of the game. So that sounds like a good idea, but we know that we're going to end up with all of the starters and all of their evolutions eventually, so why does it even matter, right?
Yeah, but that's also going to be a big decider too, is what the evolutions are going to be.
Right, and that's been going around the internet. Lots of fake images out there, folks, so keep an eye out for it. So, Roberto, I know we had a lot of back and forth with our Nintendo Switches back in the day, and you ended up with my old Nintendo Switch. Are you playing anything currently on it right now?
On the Switch, actually, I'm still on Pokemon Arceus right now.
Really? See, it's great.
Yeah, I'm just exploring through it right now. I think I only finished the first half of the story, where we had to catch Dialga.
Okay, yes.
So, I haven't gotten to the second part of it, but that's also because I've been stuck on other games as well. So, like right now, I'm currently stuck on Dying Light 2.
Oh yes, Dying Light. That's a really good series. I remember playing the first one ages ago, and I had so much fun during the day, and then once the sun went down and it was nighttime, it was game over for me. So...
Are we talking in real life, or are we talking in the game?
Oh, I'm talking about in the game, because when that sun went down in the game and the zombies got stronger, I took off. I was like, oh, nope, I can't play this.
Oh, are you kidding me? I have a 3-year-old nephew who is the weirdest little kid, but I love him to death. Usually with little kids, they get scared very easily with any type of stuff. I remember my little brother being scared of the terror dogs from Ghostbusters. But this little kid, he actually will drag us to our game and say, play zombies. And he'll specifically want us to go during the nighttime too.
And he's 3 years old.
And he's 3 years old.
I am scared for you and your future, Roberto. That is awesome, though.
Are you kidding me?
That is awesome.
I got one more just born, and he's probably going to be going the same route too. So, yay me.
So, are you playing Dying Light 2 on your Xbox, right?
Actually, no. I'm playing it on the PlayStation 4.
Really? Okay. So, did you switch over from Xbox to PlayStation?
Right now I haven't. There are some games that are on the Xbox that I want to play with, but I'm kind of just like hesitant on it. I've been sticking with PlayStation for the longest time. It's had so many franchises of mine that I hold near and dear to my heart, and so that's why I've kind of been sticking with it. But I mean, who knows? Maybe, sometime down the line, I'll have both PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox.
So let me ask you a question. So you have a Nintendo Switch and you have a PlayStation 4. And I know no one else knows this, but Roberto has never played a Final Fantasy game. Roberto, why haven't you still played a Final Fantasy game? Or am I wrong?
Okay, it's weird, but I honestly I never could get into the stories of them. To me, it just seemed kind of bland, but I also feel like a hypocrite too. Because my all-time favorite game, like I've got tattoos of it, I've got no memorabilia of it, is the Kingdom Hearts games.
Oh, yes.
But it's my all-time favorite game, and it's loosely like same mechanics as the Final Fantasy games.
Right. Well, I would figure since you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you might try a Final Fantasy game or two. But if it isn't your taste, it isn't your taste. And the self-proclaimed number 7, everyone says is the best game. It's kind of getting old now, so it's hard to get into an older game when you've never played it before. So I can understand that. Well, Roberto,
the one thing I've been wanting to try is the online one, Final Fantasy Online service.
Oh, 14?
Yeah, where you actually get to create your own character. And that's my big thing when it comes to video games. Those are the ones that really catch my attention. Is one where you can create
the RPG elements.
Character.
You like to start from scratch, build your character different than any other character, collect weapons that assist in the build of your character. So I definitely can see why, that is such an awesome, reason to like a game. So that's why I get addicted to sports games and random amiibo games and stuff, because I'm training things and it's improving and I like watching that in statistics. So, well, thank you for sharing all that with me today, Roberto. I really appreciate you coming on here and, talking about a little bit of video games with me. So maybe sometime soon we can get together and maybe play some Pokemon Arceus or something. I don't know, but thank you so much for coming on my show. I really appreciate it.
No problem, my dude.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Roberto. Thank you so much.
All right.
Well, all right, everyone. It's time to end this awesome show. We had Sam in the first segment. He went through the trials of C. And there's a video where you can see what I put him through up on YouTube. If you look under ARROLINGLE, and it's at the top of my video feed. You can't miss it. Thank you, Roberto, as well, for coming on and talking about some video games with me. That definitely was a lot of fun. So please give me some feedback, guys, on this awesome podcast. I got excellent feedback from the last podcast, so I hope things, turned out better this time. Definitely turned out a lot longer than I thought it would be, but I guess that's okay. So there's no set time yet. Since we're already kind of, late, since it's way past what I had last week, why don't I make it just a little bit longer? I'm not going to do this every podcast. This might be the only time I ever do it. This is why I need feedback. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send you guys off with a song. Now, I can't do a Spotify song, or, anything major, because then I can only keep it on Spotify. So I'm going to give you guys one of my songs. So thank you guys for tuning in this week. I hope you listening to the end changes your opinion on life or something. I don't know, but thank you for being here, especially if you made it this far. Now you only have about another minute, maybe 40 seconds to go. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm your host, C, and this is I Can See That. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sick of not spitting. Got plenty of material sitting, got my skin itching. Started a podcast to get myself off my ass, to start a future and get away from my past. I just want the entertainment left to last. This is my show, and you're my cast. Still trying to get myself out to the mass, get out of lower class. I wanna get paid for all the shit that I made. I wanna keep going as I'm never afraid. I keep writing raps and hope they get played, taking alternate routes to find my flame, show that I'm brave. Put a meeting on myself before I'm in my grave. It's time to get paid. Put these kids through college, I bet they won't complain. But if you help them, they're on private plane. Yeah, my vision is insane, but it's possible. When I'm unstoppable, I have a reason that's not toppable. I ain't on here spitting constable, I'm just letting loose because my plate is full. Until I'm successful, I'm uncomfortable. Until a mansion becomes fucking affordable, I'm just waiting for one of my idols to make a call. I promise I'll fight hard and I'll never fucking fall. These motherfuckers will pass me the ball. Hate to say I don't stand very tall, yet I'm same odd as Chris Paul. Your words can't be erased, it's written in chalk. Now go buy my shit and buy it in full. I'm off the wall, off my chain like a pit bull. Have my lyrics fill your skull, now do what you're told. Before I type these words in bold, yeah, I'm the best in town, no one knows yet, but I'm always around like a circle, I'm never ending, just loops through town. Yeah, I'm sure you're feeling sick while I'm feeling lit as I spark the whip. I'm the demon in darkness, I ghost ride the whip. Yeah, my dreams cause my car's fucking shit, but at least my outfit got me feeling like John Wick. My hair's too long, I can't make it slick. Doesn't matter, I'm still everybody's favorite pick. Future Hall of Famer, yeah, I'm considered a gamer. I love my family, but I'll cut you like butter. Kick your face in the curb, throw your keys in the gutter. I'm the greatest of all time, Jedi stutter. I say shit so quick like Slayer, guitar licks, thrash metals and shit. But this is business and no less, and I'm the best. Now let's take a rest. Alright everybody, that was a song that I wrote. It is called Visions. I am C. Thank you for listening. You can check all of my music and videos and fun out on my TikTok, my YouTube, and of course now my podcast Spotify show. Thank you again. I will see you next Wednesday for another episode of I Can See That.